Hey, it's Danny the Plumber. Today I'm in Marina Del Rey, California, and in this video I'm going to show you guys the general overview of how to do a bathroom remodel. Alright, let's get started. This is not a step-by-step video, just a quick overview. If you guys want to see more in-depth videos, please visit my channel. Alright, as you can see here, we've got a pretty dated bathroom here. We're going to be ripping the tile off the walls there. We're going to be doing the whole bathroom. I'm just going to be doing the plumbing aspect of it, but we're going to be taking the tile off, the cast iron bathtub. We're going to be replacing the tile off the walls, the tile off the shower. They've got some like cheap plastic tile there we're going to be removing. We will get a new toilet and, of course, a new vanity with the faucet. And we'll get rid of the termites and the termite droppings while we're at it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is remove the shower trim here because we are going to keep this Moen valve. It's a newer valve that I actually installed a few years back, and the owner would just like to keep it. So all I'm doing right here is removing the trim so I can turn off the internal stops inside the valve, which are located on either side of the valve here. You can see these little things where I'm putting my screwdriver. They're quarter turns, so they'll just keep going round and round, but you just need to have that stop perpendicular to the pipe like I'm showing. Now we're ready to remove the tile from the wall. So instead of hitting the tile and causing a lot of damage with a big hammer, we're just going to take our hammer drill and kind of loosen it up little by little. I've got my brother helping me out down there. We're popping off the little plastic tiles from the wall because the tile man is just going to mud over that and put some new fresh tile, subway tiles there. So we are just slowly going at the tile and not going real hard because there is another unit adjacent to this unit. This is an apartment we're working on, and we don't want to affect the tile on their wall.
Up, up. Yeah, down. Yeah,
I got it.
okay.
All right.
Oh yeah, it's a good idea to always wear gloves. Next, I'm going to disconnect the trap from the vanity here and shut off the two angle stops so we can remove the vanity. And the vanity was just held in simply by some caulking on the top here. There were no bolts or screws in it, so we're just going to loosen that up from the wall and remove that, get that thing out of our way. We don't have another toilet on the property, so I'm going to try and leave that toilet intact as long as possible in case one of us has to use the toilet there. I actually end up breaking that thing at one point, causing some water to get on the ground there. But anyway, so here we go, just removing that beautiful tile from the wall little by little. I forgot my large sledgehammer, so you can see that I broke my small sledgehammer sitting on the top of that toilet, and my brother's going to town with a pickaxe, which actually worked. Not my first choice of tools, but we got the job done. And my favorite way to get a cast iron tub out is just to break it in pieces. It's so much easier than trying to carry the whole thing out. So that's exactly what we did here. We just broke it into a bunch of little pieces and carried it out to my truck. Alright, because we have the walls open here, they've got some galvanized pipes in the wall right up here, the hot and cold, and those two are feeding a kitchen on the reverse side of that wall. So I'm going to bring the copper, which is down there already. I'm going to tie into that and repipe the kitchen since we're this far into it. They're on the reverse wall. If you walk over here with me, they have tile and they're not ready to remodel this kitchen quite yet. They want to get some renters in there. So instead of breaking that tile up, of course, we're going to go on the bathroom wall, repipe this faucet with copper, and so we'll have all that ready for them. My next step is I'm going to remove these two angle stops and the toilet as well, to make the tile work and putting the vanity and everything much easier. So what I'll do is remove those things and just solder on some caps to it. And this just makes working for the tile man much easier, and putting the vanity in place and things like that, because they are going to put tile on that back wall. So here's the proper way to get the nut and ferrule off of the copper. You just move it like that if you don't have a special tool for that. So that's what that looks like, just little stub outs to make it easier for everyone to work in there. Next, we are going to do a little woodwork to support where our bathtub goes. You know, the tile man is going to come in and probably resupport some more areas and stuff, but obviously he's not going to have access to it if I lay my bathtub down there, and I want a nice foundation anyway. So we're doing a little woodwork. We chopped out some of the rotten wood, and we're just going to support it with some 2x4s and some new 3/4 plywood in that area, just so we have a real nice foundation to go off of. Here is the new copper that we added for the kitchen line with the bronze wing elbow up on the top there. We've got the hot and cold in place. Going to support that with some pipe straps. As you can see, we are getting some 2x4s in place here to support the weight of the bathtub before we install our 3/4 plywood, which you see is done right in this area. We've left that big notch out, that big area here, to allow for our drain to be installed. You can see the trap down below, but we still have to get the bottom drain and the trip lever waste and overflow all hooked up. So that's what we do, and that's very typical. And as you can see, we've got our bathtub in place here, and we're just leveling it out. It takes a little bit of back and forth to get these bathtubs in, and you're going to have to probably shim it in 1 or 2 areas to get it nice and level in there. And that's exactly what we've done. We've shimmed it, I believe, in 2 areas here. One side was just a little bit off when we sat that bathtub in. You know, all cast iron tubs are going to not sit level when you first install them, even if the floor is perfectly level. You're going to want a long level, and you're going to want to put that level in every direction, including across it, you know, from one corner to the other, and get that thing nice and level. It was most off in the front corner, luckily for me, making it easy to shim. What I'm doing here is wiggling it, just rocking that bathtub and seeing if I can get any movement on it, which there's no movement right now, and that's exactly what you want. So I'm putting my weight across it and just going from side to side and seeing if it's set in place really nicely. We added a couple of little shims there with some screws around the perimeter of the bathtub also. There was a little extra space on this bathtub. It was more than 5 feet, making it a little easier to install, but having a little room. I lowered the bathtub spout a little bit. It was a little too high, and resupported the valve very nicely in there. I also raised the shower head 80 inches from the floor of the bathtub up. It was just way too low, and a lot of those old ones, they used to put them pretty low, but people like them much higher these days. And strapped those kitchen hot and cold lines into place, and you know, we got the drain lines all in, the trip lever waste and overflow, and we are ready for the tile man to come in and lay his tile. And then after that, we can do finished plumbing. I don't show it in the video, but we ended up actually supporting around the toilet with some plywood a little bit more. As you can see, it's pretty well rotten around that area there. Getting the drain, one more thing I wanted to say, was pretty tricky because I had this little space in a closet that I was working way down in, and I should have, in retrospect, went to the lower unit and just opened up their ceiling. I didn't want to, you know, work in two different units and cause the lower tenants to, have any discomfort while I'm working in there. So I chose to reach my arms way down in there and connect the drains. All right, here you can see the tile is on the walls. The tile is on the floor there, and of course around the shower bathtub area. And so we are ready for our shower trim and toilet and vanity at this point. Tile guy did a real nice job, and we got that a little tricky sometimes to get these, especially the Moen valves, roughed in the correct place. Sometimes they're just far too in the wall, too deep in the wall. But he did a good job, a little planning on both of our parts, and we got that thing nice. All right, here I've got all of the shower trim, bathtub shower trim in place. This is a Moen PosiTemp valve. Pretty inexpensive, but I really like Moen. They are really easy to repair. Their cartridges, if they ever leak or seize up on you or anything like that. Next, we put our angle stops and flanges in. I've got my quarter turn shutoffs. You just have to turn those quarter turn, much better than the ones with the rubber in it. And we set our Toto toilet. This was one-piece Toto toilet. I really like Toto, my favorite toilet company. This one has the tornado flush on it, and those really just don't clog up. In California, we have to have 1.28 gallons, so these things work well. Keeping our 30 inches at our toilet, meaning 15 inches from the center on each side. Now you can see the vanity is in place with our faucet, of course. And that cocked around the back side of that vanity there. You can just kind of get an overview of the whole bathroom here. There still needs to be a few little things to be done with this bathroom, like that medicine cabinet and mirror need to be placed inside that little slot there. The electrician needs to come and put his new GFI outlet in the sink area and a new switch. But we are just doing the plumbing for this job. I'm only the plumber, and there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit the thumbs up. It helps me with the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment below.